What's up, guys? It's Dakota from S&D Entertainment, and this is a Magic discussion video talking about the recent reprints from Modern Masters 3. The full spoiler list is up. I'll link a list of all the spoilers in the description, and I kind of want to talk about people really talking about how they feel a little robbed, or they don't like the fact that Wizards is reprinting all these like high dollar cards in Modern Masters type sets, like an Eternal Masters, the Modern Master sets, Conspiracy. And this is kind of a video explaining why, if you choose to invest in cards like this, that especially cards that aren't on reserve lists, why it's actually good in the long term as far as reprints versus being upset about it in the short term. So, and this is like my like business kind of brain and everything. When you invest in something, and from what I've heard from a lot of people, if you decide that you're going to invest in something and you're going to sit on something and wait, if you're not willing to wait at least 5 years on an investment, then it's not worth it. Because immediately when you invest in something, it's like buying stocks in something. If you want to look at it that way, each card is like its own stock. It's got a certain price that you buy it at. The price can go down, the price can go up, and then obviously you can make money if it goes up, you lose money if it goes down, and all that good stuff. So, yeah, in the short term, when they reprint stuff like this, it does drive the price of it down because there's more of it. Because you have the same demand for, say, Lily Out of the Veil or Snapcaster Mage or Tarmogoyf. So you have these cards that are $100, $80, $40, and now they're $20, $40, and $80. And it's bad for you because you might be holding on to like 10 Snapcaster Mages, and you paid $40 for them, and all of a sudden they're $20. And you're like, what the heck? I lost $200 on my investment. This sucks. But it hasn't had that time to actually mature into anything or have the time to actually settle back down. Yes, there's sometimes where a card gets reprinted and it just goes down in value. Like Serum Visions were like $5-10 a piece, and like the promos were $10-15 a piece, and the arena promos were like $20-25, and now they're like a few dollars a piece, and it's been reprinted so many times that it's not worth anything. But then again, that's also a common from not a very old set, but from an older set, and then also being reprinted uncommon in sets that have just been reprinted a lot, like Conspiracy 2. And I actually don't think it was printed on Modern Masters. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure, but the point is, like, it's been reprinted a lot recently versus cards that people are complaining about having invested in. So, like, they're not going to reprint Tarmogoyf or Liliana of the Veil or Snapcaster Mage or Grizzlebrand in a Conspiracy set. It doesn't make any sense. I didn't think it made any sense when they reprinted Inquisition of Kozilek in Conspiracy 2, but that's beside the point. The point is that those cards aren't going to be just reprinted in any set that isn't a part of the main story. Like, it's gotten to the point where we're not going to get reprints of cards we want for a format like Modern or even Legacy, Vintage, and all that in a standard set. But now I'm kind of getting off track. The reason why it's good for people that invest in like rares and mythic rares the way that they do for sets like Modern or for formats like Modern is because it gets more people into the game, and it creates more of a demand for those cards. If you have 100 people, say, at your store that want to play Modern, but only 10 of them do, obviously there's 10 of those people like maybe want your Lilies, Snapcasters, etc. But you get to a certain point where now there's no demand for them at your store per se. Like everyone doesn't want to play with those cards, so you kind of lose that value to them anyway, because you're not able to unload them maybe when they're at their highest. So why Modern Masters and Eternal Masters even are really good for the game itself. It helps people. It helps give cards a newer print run on cards that need to be reprinted or should be reprinted, and gives them more access to them to more players, so that it increases the demand for those cards. And with an increased demand, the price of the card will go up. So in one way, the Modern Masters and the Eternal Masters conspiracies, all those kind of sets, um, in the short term, make it more accessible for players to get into the formats, while later it doesn't, because some of the cards just end up going towards close to the value of what the original one was, or in the case of Force of Will, with the new art and everything, and actually being a foil besides the Judge promo, it's super expensive. It's more expensive than the original printing of the card. So sometimes it works out with mythic rares and stuff that are printed in sets like this. You're not going to lose a ton of value on it. In the short term, yes, you will, because it's a new print run. People have more access to it, so people are going to lower the price of it because people are willing to buy it, and they need to compete with other places that are selling it that can sell it for less. But in the long term, when all the dust is kind of settled, they stop their print run on these modern sets or whatever set that they're printing, and the card pool kind of stays the same. Obviously, you have boxes that are still unopened and everything, but you don't know if that box has whatever card it is that you're looking for. So it kind of creates a demand for, all right, well, I know people now have Snapcaster Mages, so I'm going to look for them, and then people can sell them at a higher price. So that's kind of my way of looking at it for people that have a problem with Wizards reprinting cards that aren't on the reserve list, the cards that are super expensive. Yes, for the people investing, it's terrible in the short term because the prices of your cards do kind of tank. But in the long term, like how you should be investing for the long term, it's better for you because it creates a new demand for the card, or for whatever it is that got reprinted, that wasn't there before, or maybe it is there, just now it's more accessible to people. So it's a give and take kind of thing. It's always good to remember though that this is a card game. It's not a dead game. It's a game that's alive and well. Probably one of the most popular card games to exist, or at least right now is probably one of the most exciting and most played games in the world. So it's dangerous. It's a gamble. No pun intended. It's a gamble, and when you decide to play the game from an investment standpoint rather than just playing the game, you take that extra risk of, there could be a chance I could lose money, but there's also a chance that I can make money, and that's kind of at your own risk kind of thing. And that's what I kind of want to talk about, because there's a lot of people that have a problem with it, and honestly, they just really shouldn't, because of that long term chance that there's going to be more demand for it because of the new product and the new accessibility to it. And I just kind of want to leave it out there. I want to leave it as kind of a discussion thing. If you do collect any sort of card game or anything, how do you feel about reprints and stuff for certain formats? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you not care? And if you play the game, does these like Modern Master sets, reprint sets, how do you like them? and that's probably a good place to start with that is if the people that actually like that play the game, at least as much as I know I do, how do you feel about reprints and people that do collect? Let me know in the comments of the video. Let me know if there's anything else you guys would want me to discuss or kind of investigate and bring up a point or talk about or anything. I'm kind of open to anything because I love playing the game. So be sure to leave a like on the video if if you enjoyed and you want to see more. Leave a comment about something that you potentially want to discuss, or if you just want to talk about the new Modern Masters set and stuff. I know I wanna play in some sealed events. I want to draft this. It looks a lot of fun, and hopefully I will see you guys here soon in the next video. I kind of have a few things planned, so let's just wait and see what goes on, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.